Good afternoon everybody. Just when I thought it was safe to kind of have a easy weekend, Jen and I are back at it again. Wouldn't you know, guys, another well leak, another well line leak here. And this is absolutely critical for our irrigation that we have these lines intact, working good. Let's go take a look. Let's head on out. Let's see what Missy Jen's got cooking. And we kind of knew that we have a leak. The leaks kind of present themselves because the pump starts to run more often, and it takes a while to find the source of the leak, doesn't it, Jen? But eventually, the ground, it bubbles up and it presents itself, the moisture.
On the wet spot, and
yeah.
When you start digging, all of a sudden you'll get
You're
water.
striking water. So this property's a mess, Jen, with the old lines that are in here from the 1950s and stuff, and coupled with some of the modern PVC. So this is our latest line here. Jen identified this, and then I didn't want her doing a lot of digging, so she did a little pre-spotting for me today. And thank you for that, Jen. You alerted me. And we also felt the pump to make sure the pump wasn't working too much. That's critical. We don't want to overheat it. And for those of you who are new to the channel, we irrigate the whole property with what, Jen? Well water here. So we're very blessed to have, literally, Jen, one of the very last working wells in a city here. So it's a good thing to have. Otherwise, we couldn't afford to have the production of fruit and vegetables that we do here. And you can see how beautifully Jen maintains the orchard out here. So this is our pump, and like I said, our first clue, I had to replace this 2 years ago. We had a frog that got inside the housing and peed on the windings, and then when Jen went to turn it on that night, it shorted out the unit, and it was only a half horsepower, so I stepped this up to a 3/4 horsepower. I think that's a 3/4. Yeah, I think that's a 3/4, I'm just looking, yeah, 3/4 horsepower on there, just to double check and verify. Yeah, you can see that's HP 3/4 right there. So it doesn't have to work as much. Earlier we had the leak of the unit, just a slight one. That has nothing to do with what's going on and the pump running. But we always maintain a constant 55 pounds of pressure through the system. This is our reservoir tank. The guy wanted $1,500 to replace that. You know, I said nuts to that. You got to be joking. So here's the section that was removed, and you can see how gnarled that is. If you look at that end, you can see the actual split that occurred. Let me see if we can focus. You can see the split that occurred there, and you can also see how goofed up these lines are over here. So I ended up cutting out this whole section, so I'm going to go to the store and see if I can find an equivalent length. It's got to be about 3 inches longer, and it has to have threads on the end to screw it in, to screw it forward, then screw it back, and then put some hose clamps on it. So, all right, you can see the toll over time that the elements take around here. Okay, we've got couplings and all kinds of crap all over here. All right, be back in a little bit. You know what's really great, guys? Like 98 degrees when this when this happens. You know, when you get these freaking well leaks. Well, I am back from the hardware dick, and let's see what I'm gonna do here. I'll show you the assembly we're gonna put together. Hopefully the hole is drained. We'll take a look at it. I hate to work it when it's all wet. I got my battle gear, sweats and crap on, so got my beautiful old tanners too. It's a muddy mess out here, I'll tell you. Hear Millie barking like crazy over there. Okay, the hole looks pretty dry right now. That's good. So what I'm gonna do, I've got that plastic, I've got that hosing cut back pretty good there. And this is gonna require 2 sections. I think it will. I may just try screwing in one section, but you can see it's a little short there. So if we don't put a coupler on there and kind of lengthen it up, then we're liable to have a leak. I'm just going to kind of dry fit stuff and play around with it a little bit though. That's why you got to get the extra. When I sit this for sizing, it's really much too short, that gap. So okay, let's couple it up. It's Blue Monster pipe thread tape. It works really well. We sure want to make sure on this coupling that we don't have any leak, so go ahead and pop that in that way. We don't really need to do the other end on that, but we do need to do the end on this this pipe here. Turn one wrench on that, and then we'll get this other wrench. Swing this baby. We got giant projects here on the Rancho, and sometimes you need giant wrenches. Alright, so we're going to tighten that good. I've done more plumbing here that you can shake a stick at, so that tightens up that one end. Now we're going to go ahead and tighten up the other. Now let's go in and see if we can fit her in over here. Woo. Okay. All I did was thread it forward and then back the threads into the other end there. Make sure to put your hose clamps on before. Makes it a lot easier before you put your pipe on. I'm going to go clamp it down and we're going to check it out, see if it's fixed. Mexican music is quite festive, isn't it? Especially when it's real loud. I like it when they give the whole neighborhood a concert. Alright, she's all rigged up. Let's pressure test her and see if it holds. The downside, if it doesn't hold, got to disconnect all the piping again. And that's going to fill up the hole with a ton of water, and we're going to have to bail that out and then go put some additional section in. So we'll see. I'm going to give it one more tighten down real good. Maybe get my wrenches out. Here. And have one more good snugging. Let that baby tight. Alright, let's give it a shot. Shoot, I just noticed how muddied my shoes were. Shit. Been all over the house too. Oh well, hopefully it didn't get a lot of mud in there. So far so good. We're getting it up to about, we have a running rate of 55 pounds per square inch. Looks okay, huh? I'll tell you the real nice thing about this Samsung phone. When you fill up the 64 gigs of memory, you can put 2 additional micro SD cards in. And I have another, I have 164 as supplemental, so it makes it really nice. It just tells you you've run out of camera memory, now you're cutting over to your SD card. Isn't that beautiful? Well, it looks pretty good. Let's go check our pressure here on the pump. I'm a little nervous about my dirty feet. All right, there we are, at 53 pounds per square inch. We're going to have to get this. It's going to be a while to bleed some of the air out of the hose line, actually. So, let's turn this on. Let's see what we got. It's pumping out good there. Take the chance to use the water. I'm going to have the front lines are going to be, this is where the lines run out to the front here, so that's where all the air is going to be. So I'm going to turn this off over here and then go out front and manually start the system. So I'm going to tell you another thing you can't do. You just can't go throwing dirt into the hole. We got to underpack on the underside that connection. If we just start to fill in on top, what's going to happen is we're going to have a depression. It's going to put a lot of pressure. It's going to flex that downward, and it's going to try to break that connection that we have. So we have to be very careful underfilling and compressing there. But looks like the leak is fixed, and I just heard the pump cut off. Let's get around front. Go ahead and manually cut this over. Doesn't that lawn look good? Those of you who've been on the channel for years will know that this thing with the drought 2 years ago, it was totally destroyed. Yeah, it's got some weedy sections, but it's looking pretty good. Brought that back with some weed treatment and fertilizer. Look at these nice shrubs that we put in here to give a little greenery up front. And finally, our geraniums are finally starting to come good. I almost got ready to pull them, but you can see the red and the white goes beautifully with the color scheme of the house, and these can last from year to year. Let's go ahead and pop this on. Let's put this on. Let's enter manual. And let's, yeah, it should be coming on now. I hear it. It's going to take a while. Oh, there is some water in it. Okay, that's pretty good. It's got 2-side system here. Boy, it's so nice to have a well, guys. Otherwise, it would cost $300 a month to irrigate this place, with the quantity of fruits and stuff that we produce. Looking good. This one looks a little messed up over here. Yeah, some of these don't pop up all the way. Kind of stuck. Gonna have to probably replace that one. All right. Okay, let's see how we're doing in the back. Let's turn her back to automatic. Let's head to the back.
Where are you? Where are you? I cannot believe what you've done to the house. I'm gonna find you. Where are you? There you are, Pigpen. Yeah, nice job you did on the house. Tracked mud in every single room. It's an epic disaster. Yeah, look at you. You're all full of mud. Pants are full of mud. Shoes are full of mud. Mud everywhere. You're gonna be in for it now. You're gonna get it now.